the magical world of puffins. This sharply dressed black and white seabird with a huge colourful beak is native to the coastal cliffs of the Northern Hemisphere. The puffins go by the nickname Clown of the Sea, and not surprisingly so, because not only are their beaks colourful, but they are also known to have a whimsical personality. In flight, they don't seem much like flyers, flapping their wings frantically, but underwater they turn into master swimmers and fish catchers, preying on little fish till they have a full beak. You can hardly come across a puffin and not be captivated or fascinated by it. Well, let's take a step further and discover why the puffins are a must-see on every bird lover's list. Puffins are truly amazing birds in flight. They have short wings and legs on the stocky side, but can cut through the air up to 55 miles per hour with excellent control. Despite being small in relation to their size, up to 400 times per second beat these wings. While watching them zoom through the sky, you could easily think that that was their usual means of travel. But as they dive into the water, they illustrate their amazing nautical abilities. Below the surface, puffins demonstrate yet another dimension of their versatility. These birds are strong and efficient swimmers, using their wings as powerful flippers to fly underwater chasing fish. Their wings are short and stubby, perfect for changing their shape to steer through the water that allows them to dive up to 200 feet under the surface looking for a meal. They are also efficient hunters. The beak of the puffin is lined with rear-facing spines and its tongue has a rough surface, securing its catch before carrying several fish in one go. And the truly unique quality of puffins is their iconic look. Their big triangular beaks are a mix of orange, yellow and red in broad squiggles that make them look as if they were rolled off some assembly line meant for stovetop play. But this bright beak isn't simply ornamental, it's a weapon. It gets even brighter for the breeding season, serving as a sign of fitness and quality to prospective mates. Their flashy beaks are not only for show. Puffins use these strong, colourful bills to dig burrows. Puffins differ from many other seabird species by nesting in burrows rather than on the surface. They excavate tunnels with their beak and feet in the soft soil, into which they lay their eggs. Burrows can reach a depth of up to 3 feet. That's 1 metre. Quite the dig for a 10-inch tall bird. Puffins gather in large colonies, which can number into the thousands during the breeding season. Their nests are located at the top of high sea cliffs or on remote islands, making it hard to get near their colonies. On these northerly islands, from the coast of Iceland and Norway to the rocky shores of Scotland and Newfoundland, and in the UK, even as far south as the Channel Islands. Here, wildlife thrives, and you can see puffins out before dawn around squawking kittiwakes or gulls who clamour around their nests, hoping to steal fish they bear in their beak back as they return to their burrows. Puffins are wonderful parents when it comes to raising their young. Puffins have hardwired instincts to be attentive and good parents, playing tag team with only one egg, investing every ounce of effort into raising a single, strong, confident puffling each summer. For about 6 weeks, the parents fly out to sea and return with fish in their beaks that they then bring back to the burrows. But it's not easy to bring food back home. Puffins have to dodge gulls and skuas that perch on the cliffs, ready to rob them of their food. Comical, yet heroic, it's impossible not to smile when watching one of these little birds trying to make it back to their burrows with what appears to be a meal twice their size. They always take more than they can handle. These petite birds, who are outnumbered by large predators that prey on their young, must navigate with agility and in numbers to defend against any aerial attackers. The story of a puffling is a race to grow big and strong before it takes its grand adventure into the mightiest of seas. While this is happening, the chick resides safely in its burrow, being fed non-stop by both parents until it grows fat and fluffy. But as summer ends, the puffling changes. It will lose its soft down and grow sturdy, waterproof feathers that will insulate it against the cold sea, until one night it reaches the edge of the cliff and jumps into the dark water below to begin its journey from adolescence. The relentless leer of the Atlantic Ocean, with only small wings for protection, puffins live through the rough winds and freezing temperatures, as well as relentless storms. The little birds are, however, designed for survival. They have dense, waterproof exposed outer feathers and a layer of down feathers beneath that insulates their bodies even in the harshest weather. When they are not hunting, they usually cluster together closely to share the burden of harsh weather and in doing so conserve heat. Puffins live on the open ocean for much of the year, and sea ice is especially dangerous to them. Puffin feathers are famously light, and they have a buoyancy built into their already slender bodies. The little birds take time to relax after their struggles out to sea, gathering into rafts together, which is where you can see them out to sea with binoculars, bobbing together. With all puffins successfully adapting to some of the most formidable and demanding conditions in the world, the birds are now in a new, precariously vulnerable position. Climate change is affecting the temperatures in the ocean and the availability of some fish, such as sand eels, on which the puffin feeds their young ones. These issues contribute to the abrasive pressures of overfishing and pollution of their general habitats. Fortunately, though, conservation movements are gradually beginning to receive support. Efforts continue to be made to count the puffin species on islands such as Skomer Island in Wales and Farne Islands in the UK to protect the nest sites of the birds and create awareness of the need to conserve the breed. Puffins are not just birds, they are much more than that. They are a representation of the wild and the sheer magnificence of coastlines. In countries such as Iceland, with the puffin as one of its symbols, these birds are incorporated into their fables, paintings, and sometimes even food. Even though puffins are naturally wild birds, they have a rather concerned relationship with human beings who inhabit the same environment. People have been living with these birds for hundreds of years, attuning themselves to the birds' cycles and to the environment on which those cycles depend. The puffins disappear into the water when summer is over, and they remain at sea as solitary birds for the next 8 months. They are almost generalized wanderers throughout most of the year, moving across the Atlantic, feeding and resting on the ocean. They encounter great threats, storms, predators, and the ocean itself, but these small birds are tenacious, their actions controlled by instincts that have evolved for millions of years. Every spring, as if on receipt, they migrate back to their colonies and meet their partners for life and breed again. Living in a world today where big buildings are constructed in every corner of the world and the buzz of a new day is never ending, one may never imagine being as small as a puffin. These little birds with such bright beaks and character make us see the beauty of life, still in its simplicities, and the beauty of nature, which still fuels their effort. They make us understand that regardless of how hard the environment may be, life still goes on in a very grand manner. The story of puffins is not the story of the struggle for survival, but the story of life itself, each flying, diving, calling for life.